Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm in the office, taking care of business, paying bills as usual, messing around on the computer. I went far down the rabbit hole on YouTube for aliens and UFOs, so let's do an episode of UFO News. We haven't done that in a while, have we? You know, I like to keep you guys laced up on what's going on with these aliens. I'm rather fascinated by it. So let's go through a couple stories. I got 4 stories that I thought were interesting. The first one is that, and you guys may have known this, some of you have known this. Oh, you know everything. Well, for those of you that don't, there's an alien base, not just an alien base, that makes it sound too small. An alien city, a big, massive alien city on the dark side of the moon. And apparently we've known about it forever. And it's a bunch of lizard people that live on it. And, oh, there's a lot with this one. Those lizard people have been coming here, of course. And the lizard people are shapeshifters. So that's a lot to digest. Shape-shifting lizard people with a city on the backside of the moon, and everybody knows about it but you. Well, and me. So there's that. Now, we've talked about a couple different types of aliens. We talked about the Greys, and we talked about the lizard people, of course. And we talked about the Nordics. And they're sometimes called the tall whites. And I've been called a tall white before, but I don't think that they were referring to me as an alien. I don't feel like an alien. I sometimes wonder, though. You never know. Have you ever thought about the whole idea of panspermia? You know, this is the whole ancient aliens theory that's getting really popular. You know who jumped on that in a big way was Tucker Carlson. Oh, Tucker Carlson, he loves the ancient alien thing. He's all about it. But no, it turns out that there's 40 different types of alien races. 40. That's a lot, and they've been coming here to visit, and some of them fight. And there's good ones and there's bad ones, and there's benevolent ones that are trying to warn us and help us, and there's real evil, nasty, sinister ones that are trying to manipulate us and mess with us. Apparently the Greys, this is what I've heard, the Greys, you know, we've seen them. They're a bunch of perverts. They're the ones that are doing all the probing, you know, the probing. And they get off on it in a big way. They go around the galaxy probing. They're known throughout the galaxy for that stuff. Bunch of little perverts. So there's all kinds of aliens. But this next story kind of ties into it. So going back to the Nordics, the tall whites, which I'm not, I mean I am, I'm a tall white, but I'm not a tall white alien. Although, if you put me in another country, I would be a tall white alien. If I was in Mexico, I'd be a tall white alien. In Florida, I'm just tall white. But the actual alien race, the tall whites, the Nordics, let's talk about them. It turns out Edward Snowden, you remember Edward Snowden? Whistleblower? Moved to Russia. Turns out he's a tall white. You guys thought I was going to say he was a lizard person, a shape-shifting lizard person. Oh no. He's supposedly a tall white. He didn't look that tall to me. I don't know how tall he actually is. Don't you have to actually be tall if you're a tall white? I'd have to Google what Edward Snowden's height is. If he's not at least 6'4", I'm going to debunk him being a tall white right now. If he's 5'9", you can't be a tall white, dude. You're short white. Maybe they got a race of short whites somewhere. Not the Nordic ones. They're probably a little darker and hairier. But if there's 40 different alien races, shit, there could be everything. A cat race, a dog race, dolphin race. So Edward Snowden, breaking news, Edward Snowden is a Nordic alien, tall white, not so tall, tall white, the shortest tall white. Maybe that's why they sent him here. They're like, bro, you're not really that tall. They send all the short, tall whites to Earth, exile them to Earth. The last story is about Dr. Stephen Greer. Remember him? Dr. Stephen Greer? I was a fan, and I don't know if I'm a fan anymore. I liked his Disclosure Project. Isn't that what it was called? He did that back in like '92, and the Disclosure Project was pretty amazing. And they have it on YouTube, but that came out a long time ago, and it was basically a panel of, it went on for hours, a panel of all kinds of whistleblowers from the government talking about UFOs and aliens, and people in the media, and then just regular people also who had their stories. But it was all done very official, and every person that spoke like took an oath to say that this was true and that they would, you know, testify in Congress if they're called. Well, Stephen Greer put that all up. He's the one who did that. That was his deal. That wouldn't have happened without him. And he seemed pretty legit, like he was one of these truth seekers. He just wanted to expose the truth. The Disclosure Project. Well, over the years, Dr. Stephen Greer has had to stay in business and had to figure out how not to get a regular job. And he started himself a little cult. So he's been exposed as basically as a cult leader, as a weirdo. And he has gotten very weird. So he came up with this thing called the CE5 protocol. The CE5 protocol, I need some chapstick. That's basically, how do I call it? It's a program where they have some meditation involved and some mindset training, and it sounds very kind of holistic and new age, similar to some of the mind, body, and soul stuff that I coach. But he wants you to develop this inner cosmic energy and to kind of go into this Super Saiyan mode or something. So you have this ball of energy and you can shoot it like a laser up into the universe, and you can call the aliens like it's a phone call. And you do it through this CE5 protocol, this program that you have to spend a lot of money and go like join his cult. And he has a little cult now. And he talks about how he is interacting with aliens. You know how these cult leaders, they always have some sort of access to a higher power that you don't have. So we'll see what happens with him. But that's what's happening in the UFO world. Thanks for watching.